Our last concept in chapter 3, theoretical yield, probably something that you remember from Gen Chem, and it's one of the most simple things that we're going to do in this course, as long as you filled out the table from your limiting reactant problem. So again, remember, you don't have to use table math. If you're really good at the factor label method at dimensional analysis, do that. That's fine. I'm just trying to show you some examples of this table math because it may be useful, because it may work better for you. If it does, please use it. If it does not, don't use it. Here we go. Theoretical yield. It's the amount of a product formed when a limiting reactant is completely consumed, right? But isn't that the definition of a limiting reactant? The thing that is completely consumed? Remember, in your definition, it says most, right? So this definition, the theoretical yield, the amount of product formed when a limiting reactant is completely consumed, this assumes perfect conditions and gives a maximum amount. But it is not likely. It is exceedingly rare that something that some reaction goes all the way to completion. Now we might talk about one of those examples, but compared to the number of reactions that exist in our world, the number that go all the way to completion is incredibly small. So we have this other term called the actual yield, that which is realistic. That means to say is real. It happened in real life, right? What actually happened, the actual yield. You thought you were going to get this amount, you actually got that amount. And so we have percent yield, which is the ratio, right? Ratio of actual to theoretical. So we need that and we need that. Now, on the last exercise, exercise 18, you calculated the theoretical yield, right? Most AP problems will have you calculate this one, or that is to say this one. You'll calculate this, and so you will have deduced this value. The question will say, hey, you didn't get that much, you got this much. So you have this amount. The next part of the problem will tell you actual amount, and so you just have to plug what you already got into the denominator, plug what the question gives you into the numerator, multiply by 100%, you got yourself percent yield, and you have yourself another point. Now, the only thing I want to point out is that you really do have to multiply by 100%, and a lot of tutorials, not just myself, but other teachers will leave off writing 100%. Realize if you divide an actual yield by a theoretical yield, you're going to get a decimal. Let's just, for example, you're going to get 0.25, right? Just a decimal. You have to multiply by 100% to put it into a percent yield, because that is what your question is asking for, percent yield. There's a big difference between 0.25 and 25%. And so make sure that you always turn your percent yield answers into percentages.